Hello, we're here at Occupy San Francisco, 1 week before our 1-year anniversary. We've been out here since February 28th.
Not federal nation!
Shut up. And it's a little loud here on Market Street, but we've been out here since February 28th, and we have Green Party candidate for the U.S. House of Representatives, Brouillet, here with us. You're considered a guru on 9/11, and today is 9/11, 1 week before our anniversary. And thanks for coming down. I appreciate you taking the time to come out.
I also came because it's Robert Benson's birthday.
Yes, thank you for the birthday present.
And I was delighted to hear that you guys have actually been here since February this year, because I must admit there's been a lot going on this year, so I haven't kept track of what's happening in San Francisco. I was concentrating on I was running for Congress in Palo Alto. My campaign theme, of course, was Occupy Congress, and I dramatically lost the primary. As a Green Party candidate, the only press that I got was Green Party candidate arrested on Election Day.
That's right, here's the live.
Because I did a action, Occupy Lockheed Martin on Good Friday, and we arrested due to civil disobedience. We put out a $10,000 federal warrant for my arrest. He came to my house after a precinct walk Saturday before the election, so that's when the story broke. That was the only press that I got. But I've been very active making money for social change, and in the wake of September 11th, we printed the first deception dollars, which had websites challenging the official narrative of 9/11. And those helped the 9/11 truth movement. And I made some special new perception dollars for the Occupy movement, and they have blood on them. And I just brought you a case, and I made a whole lot of them, so if anyone in the Occupy movement wants more, let me know. My website's communitycurrency.org. I actually believe we should move from a debt-based economy towards a gift economy, but we should at least transition to an honest economy somewhere along the way to sort of facilitate the change. And when the Occupy movement took off a year ago, my son and I were both in Chicago, and they had just started occupying the Federal Reserve in Chicago, and we were trying to bridge the monetary reform conference on Occupy Chicago. We witnessed Occupy Chicago grow from just this little handful of people to like 300 people at the General Assembly. It was a really exciting time. And I brought you some oatmeal raisin cookies, which I also baked for Occupy Chicago. And we also went to Washington, D.C. when Freedom Plaza took off, and that was really exciting to see it go viral nationwide.
Yeah, I understand the Federal Reserve in Chicago is less approachable. It was a little harder to maintain a presence there. It was kind of tucked into a corner or something.
It's hard. It's right on the sidewalk, and Chicago gets really cold. There's no shelter. And luckily, when I was there, somebody announced that they had a space where people could just get warm and sleep, because they were not allowed to actually sleep at the Federal Reserve. They had to stay in the. And I'm an old sailor. I thought it made sense to actually have a watch system, and they would have their larger rallies during the daytime when people could see them. And you don't really need a large president at night, although they, of course, were impressed by Zuccotti Park and the sense of community. And I think Chicago's gone through a lot of struggles. I think the whole movement has gone through struggles, the violent repression. And now we have to morph into more and actually affect change and give people greater hope. And I don't know what's going to happen on the anniversary.
Hey, John. Hey.
we're planning. There's some festivities happening in
We have an interview.
you know, back
The lady come from Chicago.
February to like June.
Yeah,
They were saying that we couldn't sleep here. We weren't allowed to sit down on the ground, lay down, and stuff like that. And we finally wore them out. They would arrest us. The DA would never press charges, and we'd just be right back out, and all they'd have was our sleeping bags. Which they never did return. But yeah, so
bullshit.
Yeah, we went through some of that. We finally, I think we finally wore them out, you know, so they stopped it altogether. And now they just come through and help us clean up with pressure washing. Once a day sometimes, or once every couple of days. They'll come through and we'll just move, they'll pressure wash. And that's mostly about it. So this is the anniversary of September 11th. Has there been any new information coming out? What's your take on it? I know
I didn't say
you've done a lot of research on it, and what do you think's going on there? Is it a dead issue?
No. Actually, what's exciting is one of the films that we're going to be showing today has gone viral.
It's really about this.
Colorado. It's called 9/11
Classic
Explosive Evidence. Experts Speak Out. It's produced by architects and engineers from 9/11 treatment. They have some very reputable scientists and engineers and psychologists talking about the impossibility of the official narrative. And that's a very good sign. That's a very positive breakthrough. What I can tell you from having studied it for 10 or 11 years is that we know that the official narrative is impossible and that they destroyed evidence and have lied about it, covered it up, and used it, of course, to expand the national security state to a global police state and attack our rights. And most people are realizing that right now. And what we've seen is greater and greater numbers of people distrust the corporate media and the government. For very good reason. And the question is, whether people are going to be motivated by fear or by love, and what actions are they going to take, and are they going to help to bring down the corrupt system, hold it accountable, or to construct a better alternative. And I think we're living in a time where we want to do both. We want to see the systems of war, oppression, tyranny, and lies come down, and we also want to build something much better to take its place.
I almost feel like we're back like the American Revolution days, where the common people finally got their hands on the press, and with the pamphleteers, going back and forth about the issues in a very open forum where everyone got to share in the discussion, at least in reading it. Now we have the internet. There seems to be a new open forum that they haven't been able to. It's a forum that's gotten away from them. They don't have control over it like they do the mainstream media. So it seems like it's a lot harder for them to get away with some of these, conspiracies, or at least some of these, I don't even know what to call it, what they're doing.
Yeah, I think the big battle is for the hearts and minds of the general public, and whether the general public is going to support us or support the existing structures. And I think it was brilliant and wonderful, and major breakthrough of the whole Occupy movement was to identify 1% versus 99%. And most people, I would say, identify with 99% and not with the 1%. And actually, one of the films that we're showing today, it's not about 9/11, but it's called I Am Fishing, and it looks at psychopaths. And I think it's pretty clear that some of the larger structures that we constructed, especially the Federal Reserve, are psychopathic. And the corporate structure is psychopathic. And how do we move from these psychopathic, hierarchical, very controlling structures to cooperative structures which are much more egalitarian?
22 to 14.
Horizontal.
First game,
Can I ask a question?
Monday night.
Yeah. Yes.
Are you getting the ear of anybody in Congress? Senator Sanders, are you getting the ear of anybody in Congress?
Well, Congress, what allies?
We did a rally on Dianne Feinstein's office. So
Yeah, that was like
She's a war
in
profiteer.
2002, January, and
that was
our
way
best.
before she even wore profiteer.
Yeah, our best ally in Congress was Cynthia McKinney. She was ousted, and actually, last year, Dennis Kucinich introduced the NEED Act, which would take the power to create money out of the hands of the private vendors and turn it into a government utility, so that we could fund all of our needs. And Dennis Kucinich was also ousted. They went against Marston after the Democrat, and so we've lost. In fact, when we were in D.C., Dennis said, "You guys occupy Freedom Plaza. I'll occupy." He got out. And unfortunately, they keep changing the rules of the game so that the most rich, most powerful, and most corrupt people can stay in power. And the best ones, the whistleblowers, are the ones most likely to be eliminated from the system. And that's what I mean. That's one reason that I ran, is to just give people a choice. And we just can give up the electoral process, or we can support the grassroots candidates.
Yeah, it seems like so often.
But we can't rely on elections, especially when they steal it.
Yeah, and when it's always, the lesser of two evils.
Right.
It's like there really isn't a choice.
There isn't. And the way they changed the laws, I ran for Congress in 2008, and I did the television ad. And we had looked at the controlled demolition of Building 7 and the controlled demolition of now, my voice is gone. I don't have any voice about my voice is there. But this is where, as long as they can control the debate and keep it as narrow as possible, then most of the people lose, because the choices are so limited, and it's a continuance of the dominant system.
Yeah,
and I think we have to go to Oakland now, because all the volunteers are meeting us at noon.
All right.
For the film festival. But
Thank you very much
so
for
much
coming
for your
down.
work.
Appreciate it. Thank you for your work. Keep it up. You've been at this a long time. So how was sort of navigating the globe? Just real quick.
It was an experience. It had its ups and downs, and I'm glad that I did it. And I have no major regrets in my life.
Right. It's quite an accomplishment. Yeah, well, thanks for all the gifts that you got and all the money. We're rich. We can buy the Fed now and close it.
Well, I'm going to give you a hug.
All right.
And take off.
Thank you for coming. Enjoy.
Thank you.
I guess I'll see you in Oakland.
Thank you.
Yes.
Can I have a hug too?
Sure.
I keep it to word of word.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Nice to meet you.
Film festival.